Welcome to JavaScript tutorial video. In this tutorial video, we are going to see about JavaScript variables. Here it is. We have showing three keywords. This is the JavaScript variables. Unlike other programming languages, we don't need to mention the data types like integer, string, boolean, float, like that. We don't need to mention here. We just have to put the keyword var, var, let and const before declare a variable. Before start the JavaScript variables, we must know what is variables. Variables are like a containers. They are holding data. In every programming language, the variables used to store a data so that we can use the data throughout the program. That data actually save inside the memory locations so that we can access and manipulate through the programming languages. If we declare and with initialization any variables, if it is a integer, float, boolean value, string, any other things, any other data, that data directly going to store any of one memory address. At the same time, that variable helps us to retrieve the data so that we can use it throughout the programming. So we will see about JavaScript variables now. As I said, JavaScript, unlike other programming language, JavaScript has a dynamically typed programming language, which means we don't need to worry about which data we are going to save, but it has some flaws on the other hand, but we don't see about in this video. We are going to learn about the basic and beginner level of the JavaScript variables. First of all, start with where. Where is function scoped keyword. Except function, we can access where declared variable anywhere within the code base, which means if a where keyworded variable inside the function, it will work inside the function scope. If we try to access other than or outside of the function, we cannot get the value of where declared keyword variable. So it's called function scope keyword. Until the function scope, if we put where keyword variable any other block of code, we can access throughout the program without any problem. So it is called global variable as well. The global variable means we can access the variable anywhere within the program, but here where have a constraint like we don't access where keyword declared variable within the function other than any other block of code, if condition, while condition, any other block of code with start with curly brace and end with curly brace, we can access that variable and we can use it anywhere in the code base. Scope determines the accessibility of variables. JavaScript variables have three types of scope. First one is block scope, second one is function scope, third one is global scope. As I said earlier, so we don't need to further explanation. I mean, we don't need to further theory explanation. We will move on to the code. I'm here. First of all, we are going to see about where keyword. In JavaScript, we can use variables to store data. We can store any data, any type of data without any problem. See, we can get the output. Sorry, I didn't console log it. See, both uh, variable a and b are mentioned with the keyword, declared with the keyword va or var, but we didn't mention any data type here, whether it is a string or whether it is an integer. But it itself understands the keyword is something we are given as a string, a number itself it is understands, so it automatically store the data with the type. So how I ensured it? I check the type of the database. And here. So the number a, number 10 is the number, it shows that, but we didn't mention here. A is a number or float or integer. So let's check it's a float or not. Point const, it won't allow us to change the value. See, if we got the const error, unconst type error, assignment to const variable. See, we cannot reassign the value to const, but it's only working for primitive values. If we consider about array, any object, in JavaScript everything is an object. If we try to modify the object, a const itself also allows its properties values, not properties values. It allows a property value, which means what I'm trying to say. If we have const c equal to name c, so we got the answer in the console of name as well as the role. What if I try to modify the name equal to it won't give any error, instead of that it will give the answer. See, we didn't get any problem here. Instead of that we got answer, we have changed the name of the property name value of other value. This is the behavior of constant. If we directly modify any primitive value, it won't allow you to change the value. Even though if we reassign the c equal to another object, it won't allow you to change its value. See, we got the id, so we have added id inside the existing object. But if we try to reassign a new object, it won't allow us to add the new object. So it is, now we have some clear understand about what is variable, what is let, what is constant. So now you have some few doubts. But instead of const, what if we using let or where keyword to the C object, right? Let me check about it. So I will use let's ask where. We got the same method. Instead of this, if I reassign a new object id 12, let's see what it will be happen. The object completely reassigned with the new object. So constant helps us to prevent to change the entire object instantly. Sometimes we have hardly described some of the objects. We don't want to change any other people who are working on this code. So we at the time we want to protect the object. So const keyword give the protection to this kind of object. Unless until we can use the letter where keyword according to the programming situation, but mostly we prefer const for the object. If we only why, because const I just here I mentioned as C, but mostly we give the meaningful name according to the naming convention in JavaScript. So that meaningful name means it mostly reliable to the backend technology. So we don't need to change the object entirely. Means we don't reassign the object entirely. Instead of that, we use the object and or delete the properties. That's it. We will do that. So for that kind of situation, we will use the const keyword instead of using letter there. So what is the function coverage keyword? We have variables of A, variables of B here. Sorry, variables of A. Let's take let B here. Let variables of where keyword, where user keyword, and let user keyword here. We will both check the function code. See here, after function scope, still it's showing the variable answer A is 10. Why? Because we declared the variable. Sorry, I didn't call the function here. Function here. I should call it here. It has been called. See, even after create a function, within the function we have declared a variable A equal to 15. After has been called the testing function, still we get the answer of A is 10. A is 10. So how we will get the answer 10? 15. We just put the control of inside the function. We will get the answer 15. After the function scope, see here. After the function scope, we are getting answer 50. So which clearly shows if the if we try to access the variable outside of the function, it won't able to access. I will change the keyword as D. console log it. D is 15. Function for D is 15. The same way, so it will find the variable uncaught reference error. D is not defined, so it couldn't find the D. Where is the D? Where is its value? Actually, it can find the variable undefined, which means not defined, which means the variable D has posted to the top of the program, but it cannot be find any. It cannot be found on the interpreter, which means that variable is exists without the value. This is the meaning of the line here. So we will correct the code now. Let's take the let keyword. It's also not give the same error. So both are functions scoped, which means we cannot access the variable outside of the function. So what is the block scope? Let me have this variable inside the block level. Okay. So we will execute the variable e equal to 20. Let's check that is working or not. So we have got uncaught reference here, reference error here. Reference error is E is not defined, but we have declared the variable E. But it's the same line of code. If we execute it inside the block level of code, it will give the answer. The answer here. Let's check and change the keyword. Instead of let, we use where keyword. Okay. See, now we will get the answer. Before we have used the keyword where inside this if block, but it has given us uncaught error, but now it shows the value of the E variable. So it clearly shows where keyword has only function scope. Other than any block of code which would allow give the value of assigned variable, but let keyword or const keyword are all local scope only. It all work on the same level of scope. Other than that, we cannot access their value. It has some features and flaws. We will talk about later on some other video. I think this video is help to understand basic level of JavaScript variables, how variable let const behave each and their own level of character. So that's it. This is the end of the video. We will bring some other videos more detailed background working about some of the concepts of JavaScript. Thank you for